Do you know what? It's not just tap water. There are so many things that are free in Canada that are not free here in Germany. Hello everyone and welcome to Life in Germany. I've been using this channel as a way to give expats and newcomers to Germany some awesome resources to learn how to easily settle in. I also blog about it over on lifeindusseldorf.com, and I have created a huge welcome program of what you're going to need to do to get started when living here in Germany. But I figured let's have a little fun here on YouTube. I get a lot of comments and questions constantly asking me to compare Canada versus Germany. And in one of my recent videos where I mentioned some of the massive culture shocks that I've experienced here in Germany, of course, I mentioned tap water not being free. So let's just get that out of the way right now, because so many people argued that point saying, well, you know, it's included in the food, or there's a reason why we don't offer tap water for free in Germany. And all of those points were very, very valid. But it got me thinking, is there anything else that's free in Canada that's perhaps seems free when you first think about it, but is always going to be included in some hidden cost somewhere? Do you know what? It's not just tap water. There are so many things that are free in Canada that are not free here in Germany. But similar to the tap water, they also have their hidden fees somewhere. So we're gonna go through and mention 10 of those today. You can probably relate to many of these if you live also in the USA, because as a neighboring country, we're not all that different when it comes to cultural norms. So what else is really free in Canada? Well, when we're driving on the highway, or here we call it the Autobahn, stopping at a public bathroom at a gas station is free. Here in Germany, you're going to pay usually between 50 cents to 90 cents for a bathroom. Oftentimes it's 70 cents, and then you'll get a 50-cent coupon back to actually purchase something there at the gas station or at the restaurant there. I will say this though, in Germany, the gas station bathrooms are tip-top. They are in great condition and often very, very clean. Whereas in Canada, because we don't pay for the washrooms at the gas station, they are usually rather grimy. But I mean, if you really have to go and you're driving on the highway, then a grimy bathroom isn't all that terrible. In Germany, there are free bathrooms on the highway. I've discussed this in a video before, but these washrooms are, if I say gas station washrooms in Canada are grimy, I'm talking the German highway bathrooms that are free, that is usually where all the truckers stop at, are more than grimy. I'm sure there's a number of words that could explain and describe this, but I will not go into detail. You could probably have a very vivid image in your mind if you're comparing Canadian gas station washrooms to the free washrooms on the Autobahn here in Germany. It is also worth noting that you can also go to the bathroom at many restaurants and fast food joints in Canada. I guess in Germany, the shops and the restaurants are a lot smaller, so perhaps people feel a little bit more awkward walking in and using the bathroom if you haven't purchased anything. And given that's usually the nicer thing to do, and in Germany I often do that, but I find in Canada the restaurants and the fast food chains are so large that nobody's watching you. So we often have Tim Hortons or Wendy's or McDonald's, and if I'm on the road or I'm driving somewhere and I have to use the washroom, then I just run into one of those without having to feel like I need to buy a coffee or some french fries or something to go to the washroom. Mind you, I definitely pay my fair share of using their washrooms later on, so it all works out at the end, right? In Canada and also in the USA, we get soda pop refills and coffee refills often for free. It depends on where you are. If you're at somewhere, say Tim Hortons, where it's a takeaway, then you're not going to get another refill of coffee. But if you go to a breakfast joint, they will constantly refill your coffee, oftentimes for free, if not for a very, very minimal fee. Soda pop is often at different restaurants as well as fast food chains free. They've actually developed these new machines that you can just go up and refill your beverage as many times as you want, and you have the choice between 40 different flavors, whether that's iced tea or orange pop or cola. We've got it, and it's often free. My favorite freebie in Canada is definitely at some restaurants you will get lucky and you might get bread and or salad for free. This is usually served as an appetizer. It is more likely that you're going to get a free side salad, but there are places like back when I lived in Canada, Eastside Mario's offered free Caesar salad or garden salad and garlic bread. So this was the whole reason why my mother always brought us to Eastside Mario's for a big celebration, because we would just eat our faces off. We'd have this massive meal and we wouldn't even be able to start the meal because we ate so much Caesar salad and garlic bread. And I'm not sure how much this would cost for a restaurant in order to offer this free food, but I always thought that this was an amazing thing that we do in Canada, and also the USA does it a lot as well. It brings customers back and it gets customers excited. So I think it is a good perk and a good marketing tactic to get people in the door and to get people coming back. Because especially when you have kids that you know eat like crazy, you can say, okay, maybe I can order their meal and then take half of it to go for their lunch tomorrow. I really miss having this option in Germany. It doesn't happen all that often, but when it does in Germany, I find it really special. I usually find that this happens a lot more in Greek restaurants or Turkish restaurants where they give you a free tea, or at the Greek restaurants you might get ouzo at the end of your meal for free, and I just find this so heartwarming and so friendly from the staff that I always, every time that happens, I always go back. One of the biggest things that bothers me here in Germany and that we don't have free is sauces. I think it is absolutely bananas that they charge you for mayo, mustard, and ketchup. Not always, but in many places, if you go and order a bratwurst or pommes or whatever, and you want sauce on the side, you're going to be paying around 50 cents for the sauce to be added on the side. And it always frustrates me so much that I just never end up buying it, and then I'll eat my pommes, my french fries without sauce just because it bothers me so much that they don't offer it for free. That sounds so entitled to say, but I think it's just when you grow up experiencing that you never have to pay for sauces on the side, it is a little bit frustrating when it's not. And I mean, first world problems, yes, of course, but I just think it's something that's so cheap for the restaurants that it's so easy just to offer it for free. And if you did offer it for free in Germany, wouldn't people come back more often because they're so used to paying for sauce that when they realize, hey, this restaurant gives it for free, let's come back because they're nice. I mean, I don't know if that's what's going through your head, but I definitely would consider coming back if they're nice enough to give their sauces for free. Don't even get me started on the burger joints, especially here in Düsseldorf. You're buying the burger and the fries separate. In Canada, you buy them together, and then you have to buy your sauces on top of that. So this burger experience here in Germany is so expensive. Another one that's actually not free in Canada, it's just there's no association of money whatsoever, would be the grocery store experiences. So when you first get to a grocery store here in Germany, you need to put a coin into one of the shopping carts in order to take that out. This doesn't happen as often in North America, especially not in Canada. You usually just pull out a cart and then go in. I guess it's more of a city mentality where they don't want people stealing their carts, and if they do, well then I guess they paid 50 cents for it. But we don't have to pay to use the shopping carts. In Germany, you do get the coin back when you put it back, but there's just no association of money whatsoever when you go grocery shopping in Canada. And then when you get in and you have perhaps bottles to recycle, you could put those in the machine and get 25 cents for those plastic bottles. So that actually means that when you're purchasing plastic bottles at the grocery store, you're actually paying an additional 25 cents for that bottle. Whereas in Canada, we don't pay at all because we just recycle the plastic and that's that. There's absolutely no money associated with the recycling of the bottles in Canada. Though I do really enjoy the recycling process here in Germany. I find it absolutely incredible. In Germany, they have managed to ban plastic bags. Woohoo! I'm so happy. In Canada, this is not yet the case. However, in Germany, bags in general, whether those are paper bags or canvas bags, do cost money. In Canada, the paper bags and or the plastic bags that are still available usually don't cost money. If they do, it's a very, very small fee. And while we're on the topic of bags, I find there to be a serious lack of doggy bags around Germany. We have doggy bags often in the parks in Canada, and that is their poop bag. So it's in a little box situated right on top of the garbage can, adhered to a pole. And we do have them in Germany, but I find that 9 times out of 10 they're empty and they're not scattered around the city as I think they should be. Don't get me started on the topic of dog poop in the city, because I used to complain about this in my one German language class, and my teacher always said, Jenna, you're crazy. There's like no poop on the ground in these cities. And I thought, what? I don't know what universe you live in, but every morning I almost step in like 5 piles of poop. And I think it's just because back in the days in Germany, it used to be worse. And now people quite often pick up the feces of their animal, but in Canada, you pretty much never see poop on the road, and I think a lot of people really try hard to pick up the poop of their animal. Another one that you might find interesting is that when I'm staying at hotels here in Germany, sometimes they will offer a free late checkout. They often won't promote it because, I mean, which hotel really wants you to be pushing your checkout later when they could have their staff cleaning the room ready for the next hotel guest? However, I find in Canada, oftentimes it is free for late checkout, whereas in Germany, I've actually come into the situation where every time I do ask for late checkout, which isn't that often, but when I have, they have told me, yes, you can do late checkout, but instead of 9 a.m., it's going to be 11 a.m. and it's going to cost you this much money. So I found that rather interesting. It is not at every single hotel here in Germany. The smaller hotels usually will allow you to do it for free because they're family run, but I'm talking more about hotel chains here. They often charge for late checkout, whereas in Canada, they're usually a little bit more lenient. The biggest one that I would never forget to mention is that I grew up in Ontario and we actually get most of our healthcare for free. Yes. We get most of our healthcare for free, but this is often a common myth. A lot of Americans think that our entire healthcare system is free. That is not the case. The program that we do get for free is called OHIP, the Ontario Health Insurance Plan, and we basically pay for this OHIP through our annual taxes. So what is included in the OHIP plan? Any emergency or preventative measures that need to be taken by doctors, these are covered in the OHIP plan. We can go into any doctor that we wish and we can get seen and evaluated for free. We don't actually have to pay for this portion of healthcare in Ontario. What we will have to pay for afterwards is any prescription drugs. So that's when you do actually have to purchase a health insurance plan, unless you're fine with just paying out of pocket for the prescription. So in Ontario, healthcare is not like in Germany where it's mandatory and then you go in and you get your prescription drugs for free or for a very minimal fee, depending on if it's the beginning of the quarter or not. But in Canada, we will have to pay full price for the prescription drugs, but that doctor's visit is always free. And not everybody has to pay for the prescription drugs. There is a plan that they've created for seniors, which is under the Ontario Drug Benefit Program. And then we also have the Trillium Drug Program, which also covers the costs for those families who have very high costs in prescription drugs every year. So maybe these things are not free in Germany, but there are so many things in Germany that are free that almost entirely trump the free things in Canada. I would give up free sauce, free water, free salad and breadsticks if Canada decided to make their university and college programs free. Here in Germany, you do not have to pay for university or college, and this is such a big expense in Canada. And while I'm saying that, I feel for Americans, and I am so sorry because I know your expenses are 10 times more expensive than in Canada, but I still walked out of university with thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. So whether that's Canada or America, university and college is not free, and this is something that is huge in Germany. This is a huge benefit, and I'm so excited that my family now lives here in Germany and gets that opportunity to study for free and really do whatever they dreamed of, even if it's being a doctor or a dentist or anything. Because in Canada, if your family didn't have the money, then you couldn't really be a doctor or a dentist. And I would also like to thank the Germans for not having toll highways. In America and Canada, we have some really expensive highways, and if you don't know which highway that is, you can get stuck paying a ton of money. In Ontario, where I live, they had recently built the 407 highway, and I kid you not, if you hop on that, drive 30 minutes, you're going to be paying upwards to $50. So by no means was this video complaining about Germany. I absolutely love living here. I just figure sometimes it's interesting to compare and contrast the differences between one country to another. And for me, that's Germany to Canada. So for me, I have a ton of fun talking about this, and I hope that you enjoy these videos just as much as I enjoy creating them for you. That is all for me today. If you loved this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click on that bell notification to make sure that you're receiving notifications when my next video is about to be published. I hope you have a wonderful day. Vielen lieben Dank und bis später.